In this session, we're going to cover the two areas of concealing. Concealing to apply coverage and concealing to highlight or enhance certain areas of the face. The reasons for concealing can vary person by person. For some, it's with regards to discoloration or to brighten under the eyes. For others, it's to cover redness or pigmentation. For some, it's grumpy areas, and for others, it's to alter their face shape and enhance certain features. This is going to be the best practice step by step. So we'll start with covering under eyes. You'll take your concealer, pop it onto the back of your hand, and take your finger and just pat it into the concealer. So you've got plenty on there. And then just pat 1, 2, 3 underneath the eye area. You're then going to continue to pat as close to the lash line as possible, like so, and then out towards the temple. You're then going to pat downwards, almost down the edge of the nose, and outwards towards the temple. And what this is going to do is help to brighten or conceal any pigmentation or colours under the eye area. If, for example, you put it on and you can't see that it looks overly bright, just repeat the step again, like so. And just apply a little bit more. And you can take that concealer all the way down to the cheekbone, as you can see there, and then up into the temple. The key here is to pat, because if you start to rub, you'll start to notice it will become transparent. If you pat, it's pressing the product into the skin, like so. If you have discoloration or purple and blue tones under the eyes that you want to cover, my suggestion is to use more of a peachy tone, and that will help to neutralise those sorts of colours. The lighter the concealer that you use, the brighter it's also going to look. Now I'm going to show you how to cover redness, pigmentation and grumpy areas. For this, you're going to need a concealer that's got more of a yellow tone. The yellow tone will help to cover the redness and neutralise those sorts of shades. You're going to take your concealer again on the back of the hand and pat the brush into it, but then drag off the excess of product. And all you're going to do is the area, say it's the cheeks where you get the redness, you're just going to drag the brush over the skin very gently. There's no need to be neat. You can just repeat and layer over the layer you've already done, and then take your brush again, tap off the excess and repeat. What that's going to do is neutralise the tones and reduce the redness or pigmentation. This is also going to be great if you struggle for coverage with your foundation, because by neutralising the tones underneath, your foundation will sit better and not be quite as transparent, and you won't have the discoloration underneath. I'm now going to show you what to do with the grumpy areas. I've struggled to find something on Jenna, but we've got a little area here. But if you do suffer from grumpy areas with redness, once again the yellow tone of concealer is the better option, but you're going to take your concealer brush into your product and then just pat over the area, like so. It might look quite stark, but don't worry about that, because once you've applied your foundation, it will look absolutely fine. So just to show you the difference, this is more of a peachy tone, which is great for covering purples and blues. And this one here has more of a yellow tone, which is better for covering redness. Any liquid concealer is great for both, but if you suffer from drier areas of skin under the eyes, then my suggestion is to use a liquid rather than a pan like this. The other thing to consider if you've got drier areas under the eyes is to use a concealer that has a much dewier or wetter look. That is going to allow you to look much smoother under the eyes and not allow your concealer to sit or build up in certain areas. What I mean by dewier is this. You can see here, this one's quite matte and flat, and this one is a lot dewier and wetter looking. And the lighter the concealer, the brighter it's going to be, like so. This section, we're going to show you how to enhance certain areas of the face with concealer. So I'm going to start by showing you how to enhance the cheekbones and brighten under the eyes. For this, you're going to take a much stiffer concealer and you're going to start by popping it down the edge of the nose and outwards towards the temple, like so. What this is going to do is it's going to brighten under the eye area but enhance the cheekbone. And all you're going to do is take a sponge, like a blending sponge, and pat that in, like so. Pat it outwards towards the temple and pat it down the edge of the nose. You can then also use the concealer to elongate the face and the nose by highlighting down the nose. If, for example, your nose is much longer and you don't wish to enhance that or elongate it, then just cover a shorter section in the middle that will optically break up the nose and not make it look or appear quite as long. And again, you're just going to pat that in with your sponge. You can also use the concealer to highlight the forehead. So the principle is, if you highlight across, then you're widening the forehead. If you highlight upwards, you're elongating the forehead. So in this situation, because Jenna is quite proportionate in both directions, we're going to just pop a little V here to highlight this section so that when we shade and contour and put our foundation on, she's got a contrasting colour which will make the forehead appear more three-dimensional. So it's just going to be here, like a small V shape. And then again, we're just going to pat that in, like so. With this section, we can elongate the chin by highlighting downwards and again widening by highlighting across. With Jenna, she's quite proportionate, so we don't need to at all.